For thinking of me, and just thank you for being awesome as always and answering all my questions. And I'll just say, I always say that Engine Hire has literally helped me save hours and hours of my time. I tell the story when I first started my agency that literally I would put every nanny candidate on a separate web page on my site, and it took hours, but just to have a platform that is personally a blessing to me and helps make the systems and processes easier for my agency is just a blessing. So thank you, Danny, and just the full Engine Hire team for being so amazing. Seriously, and I mean that. I really do. I really do. So I'm excited. I feel like marketing is just something I didn't even know I knew how to market until I found out what marketing was. It's just kind of who I am in my life. And I feel like I just have the gift of connection and community, and it shows up in my business and what I do. And so I am going to share a little bit before we hop into the Q&A portion. This year, personally, in my agency, I have made a switch in how I market. I started last year because I found that some things became unenjoyable. And I said, if I'm going to do this business, I want to enjoy it, I want to love it, and I want to connect with my community. I want to be a part of it, not just be, and I'll talk more about this, transactional, but be relational with my candidates, families, and the community. And so my whole focus this year has been the three C's, and I'll go through those really quickly, and then we'll hop into the Q&A portion. And so, hi, it's me, nanny house manager, 13 years, and sometimes I still pop into some of my families because I love them. Again, I built relationships, and when you build relationships, you just can't let them go. And so I started my agency in 2012, and then I founded Nanny Tees in 2015. We're 10 this year, actually next month, and we should definitely connect on that too. And then the agency school, nanny agency school in 2021, because I found there was a need of more education. I said I wanted to offer something that I did not get to make the process easier for other nanny agency owners. And we've just been so blessed over the years. So I'm just going to run through really quickly what marketing is and why we market. So you want to market to get in front of your target niche, of course, to sell your business and serve the community and things like that. Of course, you want to generate sales. I don't know anybody who is in business who just wants to have business for free, unless you're a nonprofit. Even nonprofits profit. They just serve in a different capacity, but nonprofits get paid. And so you have to generate sales and income. And then, of course, with an agency, our goal is to serve more nannies, candidates, and families, and then provide education and industry insight. I think every agency should have some type of educational aspect. Again, it's about building relationships and making sure that families and your candidates are thriving ethically. You want to be a resource. And then lastly, to build trust and loyalty with clients and candidates. Okay. All that is relational, not just transactional. So my first C in marketing is culture. Who are you? What's your story? I just say for me personally, I love telling my nanny story. And honestly, I feel like that's how I connect. I always joke with my sister that I have the crying moms, which is a blessing because if they're comfortable enough to cry in front of me, that means they trust me. They trust me to share their heart. And so my culture is being the extra set of hands that families and nannies need. And that's our story. My story is building community and culture within families. And then in your culture, what's your message? Why do you do what you do? What's your goal? Why do you serve? What is the culture? When you think of culture, sometimes we think of race, which is culture, but then you think of, I'll talk about stores like Neiman. Their culture is luxury. Stores like, gosh, Dick's Sporting Goods. Sports is their culture. Victoria's Secret, fragrance and luxe and beauty and feminine, that's their culture. You know their culture by who they are. So what is your culture? I want you to take some time this week, and I'm sure you all have done your planning for the year and everything, but take some time to really figure out what your culture is. I remember having one agency undergo through my program, and she loves natural health, natural healing. And she's like, I want to send recipes to my families and things that I do with my son. And her culture is providing nannies who love nature. So you kind of see how her culture may be different from my culture. Your culture may be art. Another agency's culture may be, I don't know, music and entertainment. So really find what your culture is. And if you're honest, you are your culture. Whoever you are your culture. And I'll talk more about that too. Of course, your branding and logo are great, but what is the purpose behind it? You know, you can have the perfect website, the perfect social media graphics, but what is behind it? How do you pull people in outside of what you look like? Oh, that's good. I think you could do that as a person. And if you think about, and no shade to anybody, lots of pretty models and all that, you see pretty pictures, but who are they in their heart? I think that matters more than anything. Okay. Community. So these are some pictures of some things I've done in the community. I love community. I love events. That's just something, again, I grew up on, and I have learned the beauty of becoming relational and not transactional. So in the community, how you connect, you build trust and a foundation with those around you. I always say when you market, start with the people you know in your own network. So I know we want to spend a ton of money on ads. We want to and I'll tell you a story about that. We want to be in every newspaper. We want to just do all the things, but you never know who in your network knows who. My first family client was from a nanny friend. She was actually working for the family, and she was like, "Hey, they're looking for a new nanny. I sent them your info." And I placed their new nanny. She ended up leaving, but it worked out. It was somebody that I knew. And then from there, it kept growing. I would ask my former nanny families, I'd say, "Hey, I started an agency. I would love if you would share the information with your friends, your colleagues." And it happened. So I always say start with who you know. And then also with the community, it's great to be engaged and share your voice. We'll talk more about that too, and really do what comes natural to you. Like I love networking, I love events, I love festivals and things like that. I host, and it's just been great. Also in community, make sure you get involved in the community. Valentine's Day is coming. Well, it's tomorrow. And so there are probably events this weekend. You never know what organization may need some candy. It's not too late to pitch childcare. We're still sending out emails. And then, Easter's coming up. There's Easter egg hunts, and then Mother's Day, then Father's Day. So find out what's happening in your community and get involved. And I know we're all so busy, but you just never know what can happen if you get up from behind the screen. I know it's hard, and just get out there and get active. Okay. And then the last thing is content. I think that once you nail your culture and get involved in the community, then you can create great content for social media. And just a personal story, if you follow my agency page, my content has changed drastically. It used to be so dry, and I'm like, why am I not getting engagement? Why am I not getting, shares or likes? And I said, I think I'm missing from my agency. And so I took some time, honestly, last year, mid last year, and I slowed down on our social. I had VAs and everything. And I said, I don't like where we're going. I said, I think I want to switch it up a little bit. And so as I started changing and kind of showing my face more and sharing other people's content, we started getting engagement. Like yesterday, I shared a Black YouTuber because it's Black History Month, and she shared it in her stories, and she has like over 200,000 followers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're getting followers just because she shared, because I decided to do content in a new way based on my culture. Okay. So don't be afraid to do that. Okay. So you combine your education and entertainment to aid in conversation. Tell your story. I know that a lot of people don't like to show their faces, and it's okay. There's this whole thing on faceless reels. And I'm like, people have built whole accounts with faceless reels. Go look it up. I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a thing. You can do that. I think you should show your lovely face because our industry is so different. Again, relational. And I think that many of you can connect with your audience through your story. Another thing you want to do is have a call to action in your post. So let's say, like, I'm going to do something for Valentine's Day today. Hey, head over to our DMs, comment link below. There's a new app. I forget the name of it, but you can do, if people comment link, it automatically sends them a link. I think there's a free version and a paid version. Let that be our homework. Let's go look for that. But you can do that. You can do things in stories like polls and all that. But the thing is to just be engaged. And then, like I just mentioned, I shared a YouTuber yesterday who shared me. Don't be afraid to share others, sources and local events and things like that, just so, you can stay engaged and be a resource. Okay, I love an email opt-in. We have a whole campaign coming with freebies that families and candidates can sign up for the free download. I think you all should do that too. Spring into the new year with a top 10 list of things to do in your city. Um, Here, if you want a list of Easter egg hunts in Washington, D.C., head on over to our website and sign up for our email list. So find ways to get people back to your website because we have seen social media shut down. And God forbid it shuts down again and you've lost all your contacts. So what you want to do is make a goal of getting people over to your email list so that you can have your own network in the event something shuts down. We never know. It may happen again. You just want to be ready. Okay. Social media is great, but you want to make sure you get people over to your website. Okay. And then lastly, interact with other accounts. It's fun. Comment. One of the things I love to do, I saw this post about a mom. Um, she was naming all of the things on her to-do list. And so I commented on the post. I said, when I was a nanny of 13 years, I watched so many mothers give themselves selflessly, and I just commend moms for being so great. I started getting likes on that comments, and I'm like, well, shoot, if they're liking, they're probably coming to my age. And I did it from my agency page. So you got to be strategic. Do it from your agency page so they can go back and look at your agency page. Okay. So comment from your agency page on posts, make it heartfelt, put yourself out there, share the stories, do all the things and create content that's fun. So you're welcome to follow my agency page for inspiration, and make it your own. I think that's the biggest thing. So I just wanted to share those things before we hopped into the Q&A because I think it's so important to figure out why we do what we do and how to do it and how to do it well. And there's so many posts, the difference between the nanny and the sitter. What about the household manager? But what about hearing from your perspective or even somebody on your staff? I know everybody may not have a big staff. And so what an amazing opportunity for you to be active when you have the capacity. You don't have to overdo it, but a little bit goes a long way. So ask me anything if you have any questions.
Awesome. Stephanie, alrighty, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Anyone that has questions, definitely throw it in the chat or speak up. We're going to be super friendly here. Stephanie, I have I think the first question for you though, to start this off high, I hope. If you were starting today from scratch, being like, I've not done any marketing that I can think of, and you were like, I have no budget, where is the first place that like you would start? Like, what would you do first?
I would absolutely leverage my network and social media. Um, Facebook groups are so much fun to me, and I have to limit time on how much I spend in them because you could be in there all day. If you have no budget and you want to start marketing, definitely use your personal page for marketing. Say, hey, family and friends, I just started a nanny agency, or I have a nanny agency. If you've been in business a while, go follow my agency page for exciting things that are happening. So start there. And then maybe 2, 3 days later, hey, y'all, Valentine's Day is coming up and we have date night nannies available, or we're actually looking for nannies to add to our roster. Head on over to such and such agency.com, sign up, and send me a message if you have questions. So I would start there. And then I would also do a free opt-in with that. So if you're, marketing your website or selling yourself, because there's a way to sell without selling. Say, hey, y'all. I went to this amazing coffee shop and it's family friendly. If you want a list of coffee shops in the area, sign up for my email list and you'll get a list right here. Or here's 10 ways that you can um, explore nature with your kids. So like be creative with getting people over to your list. But I would start with social media, who you know, your personal page, and be careful how you market in some of these groups because a lot of them have rules and things. They'll kick you out if they see you spamming or selling. But ask questions on the sly. So a question that I always talk about that I've asked was, hey families, what's one thing that your household could use to help your household run more smoothly? Is it childcare? Is it a sitter? Is it a personal assistant? Let me know. And then, you know, they'll comment. I guarantee. Do it in the mom group. It's great. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Joanna, I think you have our next question.
Okay, let me look here. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on ROI with hiring social media managers for agencies? Jade, I would just make sure you have a clear vision. And I'm just gonna be honest, many people use Chat GPT. I love Chat GPT as maybe in not the whole, plan, but as a blueprint. And so just make sure they really understand the vision. Because I think it's more so you saving time, but you still want to be involved with it. And so I've had some VAs do my social and it's great, but I make sure to look over everything. And so if you're going to do it, make sure you're intentional, that you're involved, and make sure it makes sense. So I say give it a try and see how things work. There are amazing VAs and social media managers out there who know strategy. So just make sure they carry your vision. And then Joanna, my question is, beyond social media, what are some effective ways to market a nanny agency and attract clients? I think definitely getting involved in the community. I love, again, just that's just me personally, and I think it works. And so for instance, we're hosting a Black History Month kids event um, next weekend. And then if you don't have the capacity to host an event, because events are a lot of work, I'm telling you, partner partner with an event. So for Halloween, we partnered with the doula agency and we just provided the activities for the kids. So I went on Amazon and just got a bulk um, order of, it's like a kids craft with pumpkins, and they can glue the eyes on and the nose and everything. So you can provide kids crafts and you don't have to spend a lot of money. And again, Easter's coming up. So a lot of your neighborhoods, churches, your shopping districts, they have Easter egg hunts for kids. So just see how you can get involved. School districts, they do a lot. There's the Easter Bunny, like pictures and things like that, and malls. So email whoever is the marketing director at these malls, or who's over the HOA and activities and community outreach, and see how you can get involved. Hey, I own a nanny agency in the area and we serve families and nannies in the community. I would love to see if we can sponsor a $25 Amazon gift card to give away. I would love to see if we can sponsor 4 hours of childcare. I think that's my favorite. Like everybody loves Amazon, but you get a mom who needs some childcare and a giveaway, it's a win-win. So I would start there and don't feel like you have to spend a whole lot of money. Um, Party City is closing, but there's other stores you can get the bulk thing of Easter eggs and just buy some candy and say, hey, I want to donate 100 Easter eggs to the school Easter egg hunt this year. We just did a church event, a business expo this past weekend. And literally every child, I probably gave out 200 of these. Every child left with one of my agency cards. And then I've got stickers. They want to take the thing. I'm like, okay, pick one sticker. And then I have little glasses. So the kids got to pick one toy, and then they had to put it inside the bag because the bag had my agency info. So this probably cost me $50. You get the bags from Amazon for $10, and then you go to Party City or whatever store and just get things in bulk, and they love it. And so I had a chance to talk to parents. I had somebody with me, of course, and so she was giving out cards. And so it doesn't cost much at all. Ask if you can sponsor the kids zone. So sponsorship could be face painting, it could be a balloon artist, it can be just goodies for the goodie bag. So many simple things you can do. Maybe I'll do a list of simple ways to get involved in the community through sponsorship.
Maria's got a question for you.
Oh, you're a social media manager, Jade. I love it. Ah, awesome. I want to do more church care. Do you have any tips to market to churches or event care to gain clients? Yes. So I would definitely connect with the children's pastors, the children's admins, the church admin, and I don't know if you have a like a special event welcome packet or info packet. I would create one of those just on Canva and just reach out. I actually do a lot of reaching out on LinkedIn and Instagram. And people write right back because usually their social media manager is managing the page and say, hey, I'm a nanny agency in the area. We provide church and special event childcare. I would love to connect to see how we can serve your church if there's a need. If that doesn't work, you can always do cold phone calls. I mean, that's always a great way. Have your VA, or if you have the capacity, just create a list of area churches. And it doesn't have to be the big churches. go after the smaller ones. And then ask in those Facebook groups, hey, we offer church and special event childcare. I would love to share our information, maybe get with some event planners, contact those wedding venues, wedding planners, florists, um, maybe even some wedding bands and singers. You can get on now. There's the knot.com, and then there's what's that other one? Wedding Pro. I would not invest in the ads just yet, but look over the directory just to make contacts. I'm also in some local wedding groups, and I have not seen any childcare agencies in there. So get in those groups, and there's always tons of wedding planners, tons of preachers and priests, and flower companies and things like that. Get in those groups. I'm telling you, groups are gold. So yeah, just send a simple email. Don't make it super long. And yeah. What are the top 3 ways to get in front of churches and events? Email walk-in. You know what? You could do walk-ins. One thing, and I'm going to shout out Erica Slade. One thing Erica Slade said she did, she bought, I think, cookies or donuts, and she would just take them to businesses. I'm like, I'm going to adopt that. I think that is so amazing. So maybe you can sponsor some coffee, donuts, and say, hey, we're a local nanny agency. I just wanted to bless you with some donuts because it's Friday and you've been working hard. Let's connect. Maybe we can set up a time to meet to, share more about our services. But yeah, I would definitely social media, cold call, cold email, Facebook groups. I would actually start with Facebook groups. I would start with the Facebook groups for sure and see if there's a wedding planning group. I think I'm in 3 of those things, and there are thousands of brides, thousands. What type of info do you include in the event brochure? So I have postcards. Literally, it's just my agency name, our little logo, and then what we offer. And then I have the background check services what we check for candidates, and then email, and that's it in my name. Now, this is my original one. So this is since, gosh, I think I got these made in 2015, and they probably need to be updated, but they still work. I go to Staples and do that same day printing and get 100. But you should have a client welcome packet. So I have 3. I have one, I'm sorry, I have 4. I have one for clients in home. I have one for special events. I have one for weddings because weddings, even though weddings are special events, I think the pricing of weddings should be different, especially when you get into luxe high-end weddings. And so we include pricing in our packets. And so my pricing for some events are different from weddings. And then I have my candidate packet. I'm sorry, I have 5. And then my corporate packet. So yeah, I include basically everything on my website. I include it in the packet, but I break it down more, and I have more FAQs inside of my packets. Megan says a lot of church staff do not work on Fridays, FYI. Thank you for that information. Yeah, so definitely, find out whenever they're there. Maybe a Monday will be good. I know a lot of them a lot of them are there on Sundays. But yeah, that is good to know. Thank you. Joanna, how can I establish trust and credibility as a new agency in a competitive market? So I always say find your lane and don't focus on what everybody else is doing. Be creative in who you are. Again, my niche and my gifting, I believe, is community and events. And so, let's say you're a nanny or you were a nanny and you love sports. I just came across a post the other day of a lady who does like traveling PE classes. Find out who's doing sports events or, see how you can partner. And again, maybe sponsor well, maybe not cookies, but sports drinks or Gatorade. But I would again start with who you know, get in some of those groups and see how you can sponsor on the local events just to get yourself out there. Can you tell me if you are a nanny or you were a nanny or like what is your area expertise? Because I have had a couple of doulas and NCSs start, and I always tell them start with your former clients and then go from there. And then don't worry about the competition. I don't care if there's 1,000 nanny agencies. in your city, there's always going to be a need for childcare. Point blank. Start with maybe one area of town. Make sure there's always a need, but make sure there are clients who can afford your services, depending on what you offer. And then just get out there and do it. It took me a while to figure it out. And again, I'm still figuring it out. I just try stuff, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You prefer cupcakes because we like a cupcake, Megan. We like a cupcake. Yes, you have a gift for community, but can that be taught for those of us that are not naturals? Yeah, it can absolutely be taught. Um, I think the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with it. Like for speaking, I used to just be a hot mess, but the more I did it, the more it just became natural because it became a conversation. But I think we're all here learning and we're all here growing. So I think just try it and give yourself grace and know that everything's not going to be perfect. But I would rather try and it'd be, okay versus not try at all because you think you're not ready. I wasn't ready to start this agency. I didn't know what I was doing. But I think it can definitely be taught. Absolutely. You're a nanny and an NCS. Oh, Joanna, I think you should start with telling your story on social. Hey, I'm Joanna. I'm a nanny of 10 years and I transitioned into an NCS, or these are three things that help me overnight when I'm with the baby. This is what an NCS does. A day in the life of an NCS. Here are my essentials that I take on the job with me as an NCS. If you're interested in hiring an NCS, contact me and let's have a chat. Connect with me for your free consultation. Like, there's so many things that you can do with being yourself and putting yourself out there. Oh, you're opening your own agency and you're organizing your first INNTD in Spanish. That is amazing. Congratulations. Oh, look at all those candidates. Yes, I love that. And see if you can get sponsors for your training day. Go after those doctors and lawyer moms and um gyms and pediatricians, dentists. Connect with other NCSs, connect with other doulas. Yeah, I love that. Congratulations. I want to know how it goes. Yeah, I could send the slides if you would like them. Absolutely. I'm happy to send them. Good for you. I'm happy for you, Joanna. I want to know how it goes for you. Where do you spend the bulk of your marketing attention, networking, email, social media, website? That is a great question. So I have made a commitment to go to 2 networking events a month. Um, I've done my 2. But I actually, so I'll show you my phone. I have that Hi Hello app. And so I make sure to have my virtual business card when I'm out. And so if I see a mom with a stroller, I like just start talking to her. And we just struck up a conversation. And I'm like, well, if you ever need childcare, I'm a former nanny and I now help families find nannies and I would love to stay in touch. Oh my gosh, we were just talking about needing a nanny. I'm telling you, you're going to get that a lot. So just strike up a conversation, but definitely go to networking events. I think that's so important, but go to the right ones. And they don't have to be the huge ones. I told a story about how I went to this women, wine, and wealth seminar. There were about 10 people there. And again, as I always say, you're probably going to be the only nanny agency owner there. And there was a lady who she taught women how to get into real estate and make money as mamas. And she was like, oh, people bring their kids all the time, but now that we know about your services, we're going to be in touch. So we connected, shared Instagram, and we've been in touch. So don't be afraid to go to the small ones. Look on Facebook events, look on Eventbrite, and find out what's happening. Make sure you do your research, of course, and make sure it's a credible business. Because you don't want to waste your time. You want to be intentional. Um, and then where else do I spend the bulk? So definitely networking. Social is great. I set a timer on social because if you're not careful, you'll be on there all day. Um, in the morning after I've had my me time and answer some emails, I'll get in the groups and just kind of look over. And I'm telling you, I am in so many groups. Anybody know a babysitter? Anybody know a nanny? So just find those posts, do a search in the group for nanny or babysitter. Get on the Nextdoor app if you're not on there. It's great. And then website, um, I wouldn't, well, I mean, I get people over to my website, but I mean, your website is like your hub. So you definitely want to build your email list. So do those free opt-ins if you can. But I'll say my biggest ones are networking and social media and getting involved in community events. So make sure you stay on top of those holidays. Again, Valentine's Day tomorrow. Women's History Month is next month. That's a good one. And then Easter, getting those Easter egg hunts. Spring break, you should be talking about your spring break childcare services now. Parents are already planning for summer. I ran across an event for, it was like nothing but local birth worker, like it was a birth workers network. And I was like, well, there's no nanny agencies here. I love to connect. They were like, I get moms all the time looking for nannies. So connect with your local birth workers. So it's just find the people who need what you offer and then just go talk to them. Any tips on marketing for corporate care clients? LinkedIn. LinkedIn is your friend. I love LinkedIn. I feel like I'm still learning LinkedIn, but you get direct access to the big wigs. And I did a business conference. Well, I went to one last week while everyone else was networking with other businesses. I was networking with the vendors. So I got the card bankers, people from the city. So there's like the city of Dallas was there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to the VP of marketing. Let's talk. Like, so make sure you network with the right people. But definitely for corporate clients, LinkedIn, local events, and then there are so many, I'm telling you, get in those Facebook groups and just, put it out there. I'm thinking of expanding my agency to offer corporate backup care. Are there any HR professionals in the group who would be available to chat? You have not because you asked not. So just get in there and ask. And if you get flagged for, spamming, because I don't think that's spamming. I think you're just asking a genuine question. So I would just try those three and see what happens. Yay, send me a message, Jade. What do you suggest is our number one homework assignment for us? I would say it's great to have goals, but really, really discover what type of agency you want to be. My focus, and it took me a while to get here, is just community, culture, and content. I'm getting involved in the community. And so I think you should take time to decide what type of agency you want to be. Figure out what comes easy to you. There's another agency owner. She's not on here, but she loves to tutor. And some kind of way she merges her tutoring with childcare, and it's working for her. And so she loves education because she's a former teacher. And so education is her niche. And so she gets on social media and says, hey, parents, here's the homework of the week. Like, here's what we've been working on. If you need a tutor, here's a tip for this. So find out what you want to be and be authentic with that. If you love brunch, if you love to dress up and be posh, all that, go sit at one of those restaurants in the nice parts of town and just go work for the day. You never know who you'll run into. So basically be yourself and put it out there. Um, and then I want you to work on building a free opt-in because we've seen, again, I'm going to say this over and over, we have seen social media shut down, and I think you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So figure out that opt-in and get people to your list. All right. So find out who you are, your culture, your community, and your content. Um, get in those groups. And what was the last one? We were at the roster replay, but I just lost it. I lost it. Be you. Thank you, Megan. Be you and decide who you are. I think it's just so easy being yourself. And again, it took me a while to get here. I thought I just wanted to do all the luxe and the high end and all that. And you can. But I said, I really like to gather. So we're hosting events and we're partnering. Partnerships are great too. Make a list of your top 5 dream partners in your city. If you love to do arts and crafts. I talked to another agency owner. She's going to start doing art tours and things. Do that and just make it fun. Build your community. Be you. That's the homework, is to be you. And I want updates. Maybe we can check back in a couple months and see where we are on the Be You challenge.
Joanna
Any
mentioned social media isn't my strong suit, so I'm considering partnering with someone or outsourcing it. What are some cost-effective ways to do this as I'm just starting out?
Oh, good question. Um, there are sites like Fiverr, and I'll type them in here. Fiverr.com is great. There are tons of freelancers. I think Upwork, is that what it's? Yeah, Upwork is a good one. Social media groups. So I'm sorry, Facebook groups. There are social media managers in groups. There have been moms who are like, "Hey, I've got time. I'd love to do your content." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Megan says, "Looking at freebird.com." Thank you. I'll look at that too. And then actually I've gotten some connects on LinkedIn. I've been getting a lot of inboxes, but you never know. But definitely Fiverr is great. Read the reviews. Um, I have literally gotten content calendars, graphics, and plans. Though this is when I was first starting out. But you can get it on the low. So do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. And look into interns. Summertime is coming up. College students need projects. And yeah, look into interns at local colleges and universities. So, but yeah, I'm looking over here. Thanks so much. 14 years into your agency. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Keep me posted, Jess. Keep me posted. 16 months, 12 months. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, there's some good deals in here. Definitely, I feel like social media is a whole job. So do your research. I love Fiverr. I've not used Upwork. It used to be another one back in the day, but I think they merged. Odesk was what it was. It was Odesk back in the day. What about recruiting? Have you partnered with colleges? I have not partnered with colleges, but I have reached out to their early childhood educational departments and educational departments, along with their career centers to post jobs. So most colleges have college fairs. And so see how you can be a vendor for the college fair. And also your local workforce commission. Here in Texas, we have the Texas Workforce Commission, and they have job boards because people are always looking for employment. So connect with your local workforce commission. But colleges are great. There are even college groups. There's a site called Handshake, and I think that's jobs just for college students. And then I feel like there's another one. I think it starts with a B. I don't remember the name of it, but I'm in tons of groups with college kids, and they're always looking for babysitting opportunities. I used to babysit in college and worked at daycares. So I think colleges are great. Barefoot. Thank you. That's it. I knew it started with a B. Barefoot. Yes. And I've done a couple of college fairs. I haven't done it in years, probably not since before the pandemic, but they have them. So with career development department, whoever does the job posting for college jobs, and I'm sure they have Facebook groups as well. Awesome, awesome. And what about printing companies have you worked with? I have done Staples. Um, I like Staples because I can call them right after to make sure the positioning is correct. But I've been using the same one for years. And then they have the same day printing. If you order by a certain time, you can pick up after 2. And I think I pay like $40 for 100 of these. So no, it's somewhere around there, less than $50. So I would definitely Staples, Office Max, Office Depot, and then looking at local printers too. I love supporting a small business. So I know Canva has printing, but I think what you see is what you get. So make sure everything is aligned and, ready to go. Jay says she used Cat Print, FedEx, and Moo. Moo has super cute templates.
Where can we go to learn more about you and everything that you're doing?
Yes, nannyagencyschool.com. And actually, I low-key already started it. But a monthly marketing membership. I just realized there's such a need for more marketing. So I'm gonna just type in here and then maybe we can send it out as well. Um, it's called the boardroom, and we're gonna start doing monthly accountability, content done for you, monthly projects, monthly, oh, love you too. Love you too. Love all of you so much. Yay. Monthly challenges because it's not easy. It's not easy when you're trying to run your agency and then you gotta, if you don't have the full team. Again, some of you may have the staff, but then there's a lot of us who may not have the staff. Like I have a couple VAs, but I'm still very involved in marketing because first of all, I love marketing. And then secondly, I just wanted to do well. So marketing is what makes or break your business. Um, Sorry, not marketing, so feel free to bypass. You mentioned having VAs. I would like to hire one due to my plate being beyond full, but I'm struggling to figure out what tasks to have a VA do. Um, I'd be interested to know. Um, so if I could go back from the beginning, I would have hired a recruiter right from the beginning. Recruiter and director of like candidate intake, because trying to manage the clients and the candidates, that's a lot. So if you're able to, hand off the candidate side to a VA and your marketing social media, um, then I would do that. If you can combine the social media marketing role, maybe start there first. I would want to know your capacity and what you're currently doing. You can send me a message if you would like. But yeah, let's see where you are and what you've been doing because the last thing, and I talk about this too, you do not want to burn out as an agency owner. I have been there and it's not fun. I had a health scare last summer, which is why I had to put my virtual or my agency summit online. I said I can't do it. I was not well. I was not well because I was doing way too much. And so whatever you got to do to get some of this work off of you, do it. Do it because I don't want you to have a scare like I did. Thank God I'm better. But don't let this agency take over your life. And I say this too, you're not going to miss anything. Don't worry about the money. It is going to come when you get in your lane. But more than anything, probably this should be the first homework is to make sure you're okay. And I say it all the time. People are always going to be having babies, but there's only one you and one life, and you want to live it well. And you want to be able to balance and not burn out. Okay? Balance and not burn out. We probably need to do a self-care session because I've had clients text me in the middle of the night and I wanted to answer because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss out. But I'm like, I need to be asleep. Why am I trying to respond to this email? No, it can wait 5 more hours. And so it all goes back into really believing that you're called to this, believing that there's no shortage of anything. Belief is probably the first thing. No shortage of anything, no shortage of clients, no shortage of candidates. Again, I don't care if you are in LA or New York with the saturated agencies, there's still some room. You just got to find it. Okay. Yeah. Mine took over and had depressed and lost. Yeah. You don't need to be losing nobody's hair. Okay. Or sleep, which is why you need some help and a clear vision. Clear vision. Okay. No shortage of nothing. People are always having babies, but there's only one you. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Please take care of yourselves. Make this year different. I already said that I am. I took my time flowing into the new year. Sometimes we want to hit the ground running, but nope. If your stop time every day is 4 o'clock, let it be 4 o'clock. And if that client goes away, that client was not for you. That's just the point I'm at. I'm like, I'm not about to kill myself over a placement. No, 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 no. So make sure you're okay. Drink your water and go to bed. Yes, no shortage. So your first homework is to make sure you're okay. Second homework is to be you. Third is to, I think they get in those groups. It's on the replay. Get in those groups, make a list, try to build an opt-in so you can get your own community growing and then get involved in the community some kind of way. Some kind of way. Play on those holidays. Health is wealth. Yes, Danny. Health is wealth. Absolutely. I'm so glad you're okay. Heaven's reflection. I'm so glad. All right. I love y'all so much. This has been so much fun. Maybe we can do a self-care check-in and make sure we're fine. We want our hair to keep growing.
I feel like we all do need a self care check in now. This
Seriously.
that took a drastic, amazing turn. Bree's on board. But yeah,
Yeah.
everybody, thanks so much for joining us. I'll make sure that everyone gets this recording and we'll get you those slides too. Seems like we'll probably be going back and making sure we get all of these great websites in this in here too, everything that everyone said. But yeah, everyone, thanks for joining us. As always, RCPs, stay on our list for this and you'll never miss anything. Stephanie, thank you so much. Everyone, go to the nannyagencyschool.com to learn more and get more from Stephanie.
Thank you, everyone.